Right, g'day. Trying a new camera angle. Stereo ToneX into a single FRFR cab and some philosophy on modeling. Well, the ToneX felt really good through the FRFR cab, the stereo, summed to mono through the pinstripe. I guess because I'm running 2 stereo amps, maybe it feels a bit like it's actually maybe too much signal. So I think I'll try the same thing with a single amp and see how that goes. Yeah, it sounds really good. I just think the ToneX feels really good, and running them in stereo is really fantastic. I'm still using some captures from my good friend Devin over at Tone Shepherd. He sent me some more, and I'm really appreciative of that, mate. I've been really enjoying them. But quickly, just some philosophy on going direct, right? Most people probably won't get this far in the video and will comment like, oh, I'll never run direct, or I never blah blah blah. Oh, one guy was like, you're not a real player because you only run direct. It's like, no mate, I've got a lot of nice vintage amps. I just have to run direct for certain gigs, and I'd rather work for and with something that I'm going to have to do throughout my life rather than against it, right? Adapt or die kind of thing, right? I have to run direct on a lot of the stages I'm on, and if I go on tour, which I'm talking to someone about a tour now, it's like, hey, you're going to be running direct. It's like, okay, cool. It's like ears only, and it's not only a fiscal thing, but it's a physical thing, right? Because amps take up a lot of space, but if you're on the road, you break a tube, you don't have a spare, like, oh, you got to figure that out, and then you'll get to the venue and figure stuff out. But if I'm able to run direct, it just, especially when running a Trax rig or anything, no one out front can tell, and no one out front cares. If you go see Metallica, the guitar tones are fantastic, and they're dialed in. That 2C++ amp in the Axe was made for James, based on his 2C+ from the 80s, and it's just like, I don't know, it's really interesting. Some guys are really hard and fast about it, but they can afford to be, right? If you don't have a gig, or if you don't have any gigs, or you don't have gigs where you have to run direct, then if I didn't have to run direct, then maybe I wouldn't, but I certainly use digital devices. I'm a sucker for digital delay. If someone gave me like a Lexicon Prime Time, boy, or an H3000 Eventide or something like that, like a nice rack delay, I'd be gone forever. You'd never see me again. I'd just play with that all day, because I think that's, especially the Prime Time, like the original, that's the coolest piece of gear ever. I love rack gear, by the way. If anyone's ever selling anything cool, please message me. I don't know. It's really interesting because a lot of really huge bands are now direct, right? Or at least real amps with, say, a 2 notes or something like that. Like, I can guarantee you any major LA tour, they're probably running direct. Maroon 5's direct, Black Eyed Peas are direct, Metallica, Luke Combs, Kane Brown, bunch of others. But it's actually your man who plays for Zach Brown band uses an Axe. That kind of blew me away. I won't lie, that actually really blew me away. I didn't expect that at all. I didn't expect for him to run direct, but he does, and good on him. He sounds great. That guy's a really, really good player. Thing is, I think a lot of people get really uptight and in their head about it, and I think it's just one of those things where it's like, you like it or you don't, you know what I mean? It's not like this counterculture wage war thing. Like, you're not in your leather jacket riding off on your bike smoking a cigarette because you're like, well, I only play vintage Fenders. Like, yeah, well, maybe you're old enough that you could get them cheap. Like, I've got vintage amps, but I slaved away to get them because they're not cheap, and a lot of tears and a lot of work to get those things going, And not everyone's, you know, I recognize I'm very fortunate. I'm fortunate enough to have both, but that's the thing, is I'm happy with both. You know, my favorite amp I own is probably my Plexi, because that's my, you know, that's my baby. That's like, it is what it is. But like, I gig it when I can, but it's not feasible to bring a 50 watt Marshall head down to Broadway every day. Like, it's just silly, you know what I mean? If I'm playing a small room, like, it's just waste of everyone's time, you know? But also, a lot of these stages are silent stages, so I don't have a choice. It's, you show up, and if you're like, well, I only have an amp, they're going to be like, well, we can't, you know, you just got to plug your pedal board in direct, and it's going to sound terrible, and good luck. And that's how it works. So I'd rather work with the flow of current in a way that benefits me, right? And if I'm going to run direct, then I may as well find a way to make running direct pleasurable. But the thing is, I enjoy new technology. I've always really enjoyed watching the advancement of technology. I do think humans rely on it a little bit too much. Now we're getting to the AI thing. Maybe your man who wrote the book The Unabomber Love was onto something. Like, the more we rely on technology, like, the dumber we get, kind of thing. Not advocating for the Unabomber, obviously. That was a great Netflix series, though. Bloke who represented him did a very good job. Kind of fascinating, you know, like, he had all these interesting ideas, and he, like, a genius, but like totally messed up human being, right? You know, I find it really interesting, because I've got lots of comments that are like, oh, I love Run Direct, or like, nah, I hate it, I'll never do it. It's like, oh, okay, fair play to you. If you won't, fair play. If you will, fair play. But like, a lot of metal dudes run direct, because it's just like, it's much easier. I've got these friends from back home, Polaris, and they're quite popular. And they, when they came through Nashville, and I saw them a couple of years ago, we had a catch up. Fun story, I used to work with Rick and Jake in a call center in Sydney, and I used to own a Strandberg. I brought in, and if you look through Rick's Instagram from Polaris back enough, there's a photo of my Strandberg. You know, it's like, they run direct and get great results. Meshuggah have run direct. It's like Pod HD, the rack one, you know what I mean? Obviously, Frederick Fraudendale's got that insane studio, but like, yeah, I don't know. It's just really interesting to me how like heavily some guys are invested, and I find often the guys who are the loudest about it usually don't own crazy tube amps or aren't crazy players. You know, there's obviously a lot of like really amazing session players in town, and I don't like that. Why would they run direct? They don't have to. They never will, you know, unless maybe they're doing like the kind of 80s direct to the board tone, but you know what I mean? They're not like using an Axe Factory Kemp or anything. And I really think, you know, oh, good on them, because like, they don't have to, so why would they? But a lot of people shoe off modeling together. But you know, here's the thing, what could be considered modeling, right? If you're using a Line 6 DL4 on the tape setting, it's meant to be modeled after a Line 6 DL4, after a tape echo. So is that a form of modeling? You know, there's got to be staged tiers to it, you know. If you're using a digital reverb, it's modeled after a physical space or a physical device. If you're doing digital delay and you're using, you know, your oil can, well, you're emulating an oil can. You're modeling your delay to sound like an oil can. So I wonder how deep some people think about it. Like, a digital effect's okay, but not digital amps, you know. I'd really love to set up a hybrid rig and see how that goes. I think I'd really love to get one of those Joey Landreth rev heads, the little ones, and combine that with something and see, you know, because that's got the 2 notes torpedo technology in it, which is really cool. And maybe it'll, you know, that could be a thing. Well, my phone's only gone off halfway through the video, hasn't it? So I think combining maybe like an Axe Vex 3 with like one of those Joey Landreth heads would be like a sick little rig. So look, I'm going to finish up talking about this here. I just think it's kind of funny to me how some people get like really upset about it. Like, I don't care if someone's like, oh, hey mate, I don't do modeling, like I just do tubes. Oh, fair enough, fella. Like, you know what I mean? Good on you. But like, I've seen some people get like really upset about it online. My whole thing is like, I'm a working musician. If someone's paying me $100 and I can use an amp versus $1,000 and I can go direct. I'm going for the $1,000 gig because I've got mouths to feed, and bills to pay, you know, and it's just like, you know, it's doing the job, you know. I can't imagine a carpenter being like, oh, I don't use any kind of bandsaw, and they're like, oh, it's, you know, we'll give you X more amount of money if you use a bandsaw. He's like, no, won't do it. Like, I don't know, man. The world is weird enough. Some people get emotionally raw about someone using amp modeling. It's like crazy to me. But I don't know. Maybe they got nothing else going on, right? Anyway, I'm trying to figure out a way that amp modeling can work for me, and I'm really excited to explore it, and I'm having fun doing it because I'm able to kind of assume the role of playing amps that I'll never own or don't actually care to own in some cases. Like, I don't really care about owning a Soldano, but it's sick that I can emulate one and get that kind of tone, but I don't care to own the physical object, you know? Last note, I am selling a vintage deluxe reverb pre-CBS, change grill, original irons, change speaker. It's got a 3-prong. If you're dead serious, message me. I'm not really into time wasting when it comes to it. Pick up in Nashville. But it's an old one. It's a good one. It was used on a session by JD Simo and Jared James Nickel, and it sounds great. Yeah, it's not going to be a cheapo deal like I know what I got kind of deal. But I'm not, you know, I'm not ridiculous about it. There's wiggle room, but she's not mint. She's a player grade, but it's a seriously good deluxe reverb. I just have 2, so yeah. Yeah, if you're interested, you know, message me on Instagram or whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna go work out. I'm also parked at the gym, and they've redone the concrete and paint on in the car park, and that makes me really happy. So, all right, just some thoughts on modeling. Cheers.